We're going to talk cricket for a couple of minutes. And for once, we're talking about it on the back of an England victory in the Ashes. Chasing down that 175 to win, 15 years since England's last Ashes win in Australia. And just before we welcome our next guest, we thought it'd be good to remind everyone of his early prediction before the series.
So are you saying this could be a whitewash, Malcolm?
Well, that's pretty standard, really, isn't it? It might rain in Sydney, so it might be a draw, so it might be 4-0. But outside that, I think that... and look, as I said, we don't know who most of their fast bowlers are. They haven't got a spinner. And we don't know how long the other blokes, Archer and Wood, are going to stand up. So I actually think it could be a pretty long tour.
Just need the Barmy Army singing this, really, don't we? Perfect time to welcome back top Australian cricket journalist Malcolm Conn. Morning, Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Morning, guys. Congratulations, you've come good, just when it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm reading an article by Michael Atherton, always in the Times this morning, always considered, always intelligent, and he emphasises that win for England in the fourth test shows us just what a missed opportunity this was, because actually Australia are not very good.
Well, he's actually quite right that it's a missed opportunity, because Australia have had one frontline bowler for most of the tour, and their top order batting was in disarray going into the series, and they were miles behind after day one in Perth. So this probably should have been day two in Perth, not day two in Melbourne when you've lost the Ashes.
Malcolm, look, in England at the moment, they're looking for reasons why, and could it have been a different story? And one of the things happened over the weekend was Josh Tong getting 7 for 89, playing a big part. Not the quickest bowler, but a bowler that is pretty reliant. Do you think England didn't use him early enough?
Well, I think that they'd be very disappointed with the way that Archer went in particular. Obviously, he's hurt now. I'm surprised that Tong didn't get a chance while the series was still alive. He's sharp, he's 140, so he's sharp, but what he has done, he's bowled a fuller length and he's made the Australians play. So he's attacked the stumps, or he's fished outside off stump and they've gone driving and nicked them. So he's actually just turned up cold and done all the right things. And as you say, he probably should have been there sooner.
Look, it was 5,468 days that we hadn't won a test match in Australia for. But I have to tell you, Malcolm, you lot, you're bad losers, aren't you? Fox Sports in Australia, quoting, "It's the test that will forever carry an asterisk due to its farcical nature." Goodness me, hold your hands up, lads, and just say that this time, just this time, you were beaten by a better side. Conditions were the same for both teams.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. The Australians who have been vulnerable in the batting were exposed. I mean, you look, the big winner out of this test match really is horticulture, because there's been so much talk about the grass and whether it should have been 10 centimetres or 8 centimetres, but it was 10 centimetres for both sides. And I 100% agree with the fact that your guys outplayed Australia and their batting was finally exposed.
I want to ask you a question, Malcolm, about Steve Smith. So Steve Smith's unbeaten. He's batting with the last man, Richardson, okay? And twice, it was at least 2 overs in a row, I think it was 2 overs in a row, he took a single off the first ball. What was that about? What about responsibility of a captain? Why not try and protect your number 11 and add 15, 20 more runs that might make the difference?
You know, the only thing I can guess there is that Richardson is actually a reasonable all-round cricketer. He can bat a bit, so he might have thought that between the two of them taking runs where they're on offer, then they might have been able to sort of capitalise on fields being pushed back to Smith. But, I thought either way they were in trouble, and I don't think they were going to get enough.
Malcolm, tell us what you expect in Sydney from the wicket, and obviously talking about the pitch. Tell us what you expect from Australia, because obviously now it's 3-1, and if England did win and get to 3-2, I'm pretty sure the Australians are pretty determined to go 4-1 and really rub the noses of England in it.
Well, yeah, there has to be changes to this Australian side. They've been putting along, and individuals have been standing up and doing big things for them. Travis Head's had a couple of big innings. Mitchell Stark's had an unbelievable series. So, but Cameron Green was going to be the next hope. He's played 34 tests and we're still hoping. So I'd imagine that he would have to make way. And I'd like to see Beau Webster get another opportunity. He's actually played some good test matches for Australia recently. Could be a bit emotional too. I mean, everyone thinks that a 39 Khawaja will go. He hasn't said he will, but I'd be surprised if he hung around. He would have been finished now if Steve Smith hadn't have been unfit for that third test. So wouldn't surprise me if there was a change or two, and if they started looking towards the future.
Well, look, I mean, the good news for the Aussie batters, obviously, Malcolm, is no Archer, no Wood, no Atkinson. By the sounds of it, it's going to be either Cascarino or Stelling who's going to be flown out there to bolster the England bowling attack, because you were absolutely right about one thing, you know, that we took a huge risk, a huge gamble on the fitness of Archer and Wood.
Well, you did. And look, it sort of almost paid off in that you had to throw the Kinship sink at Australia in the first test, which you did. And after that first day, it looked like it had worked. And a day of sensible batting, and you've probably won that test match. And everyone would have thought, well, we're one up now. It's okay. But, I mean, to me, Archer's a big disappointment. Like, he bowled magnificently in that first innings in Perth and comes out with 200 on the board, highest score of the game to make, and he's bowling at 129. And think, mate, if ever you're going to crank up now. It's no good cranking up to Steve Smith when there's 50 to win or something, and he's bowling 150 then. Steve Smith was right about that. You've really got to crank up when it matters. But it's the batting from both sides that's been poor, and England overall has been the poorest, but they were the least poor in this last test match.